This episode of Success Through Connections is brought to you by Legacy Realty Group, North Florida. The team that treats your home, your time, and your goals as top priority. Real people, real results, real care.
Back to Success Through Connections. I'm Zelda, your host. Today, I thought I would share with you a story, a little bit about me and my background and Success Through Connections. I want to start by asking you, do you think if your business was in trouble or had a problem that your competitors would come and help you? Most people would say absolutely not. Well, I'm going to tell you an instance of how competitors did help save my family's business. It was quite a few years ago, probably, more years than I care to admit. But I was working with my family in our wholesale produce business. We sold produce to schools, to grocery stores, to restaurants, anybody who's buying produce. And it was the summer of 2004. And I live in Florida, so there's a lot of hurricanes, and August is hurricane season. And our company was hit by a tornado that spun off from a hurricane that was due in a day. So our company was totally destroyed. Our trucks were overturned. They looked like a matchbook, those toy cars that had been knocked over. Their windshields were blown out. Cars were tumbled over, and chunks of asphalt from the parking lot were missing. And when we walked into our warehouse, fruits and vegetables were mixed in with aluminum from the air conditioning unit. Again, our computers were knocked down. They were on the floor. There were wires dangling everywhere. Actually, there was no ceiling. It had been peeled back like a sardine can. And it was terrible. And we didn't know what to do. My dad, who was in his 80s, was ready to close shop. My older brother and my younger brother, who were my partners, they were ready to close shop. I wasn't. I was scared. I didn't know what else I was going to do. I had 2 children to support. I was a single mom, and I didn't have any other skills, I didn't think. So I didn't know what to do. I said, we have to rebuild. So one brother was in charge of finding a new location, and another, and all hands on deck. Our employees did not quit us, and we didn't even lose a client during this regrowth business portion of our company. In fact, one of the competitors came up and said, hey, our gloves are off. What can we do to help you? We want you to survive. I mean, this was a company that was started by my grandfather, and then my father took over, and then my brothers came in, and then I came in. So this was a 4th generation business, and my daughter had joined us. So we didn't want to close. We couldn't close. And that was the first competitor that came to say, what can we do? And then others came and said, well, we have warehouse space you can use. We'll share one of our coolers. Now, coolers were the size of a house, okay? They were huge. We took them up on that offer. And then another one came forward and said, we'll help you. We have a bigger space. You can rent one of those mobile homes that are offices and put that in our parking lot. What else can we do to help you?
When it comes to buying, selling, or managing rental property, don't settle. Choose the professional team that's experienced, knowledgeable, and yes, they actually answer the phone. Legacy Realty Group, North Florida, is the full-service real estate firm that delivers peace of mind. With over 16 years of local expertise, their responsive and dedicated team makes the process smooth, personal, and stress-free. Whether you're selling your home or looking for a reliable property manager, Legacy Realty Group, North Florida, has you covered. You'll find their info right in the show notes.
So we had one competitor that did try to take advantage of us, but we saw that and we were like, thanks for your offer, but no thanks. And I thought it would be a great idea to bring in a consultant to help us. And that was interesting because he did nothing but try to take advantage of us when things got a little dicey. That's for another story. So you've got to hire smart. And I learned a lot. But in other words, what I wanted to get at was why did these competitors offer to help us? Well, it wasn't because of me, to be honest. It was because of the family. This was a 100-year-old business, started, like I said, from my grandfather, who was an immigrant. And over the years, my father had built solid relationships. And these were all really family-owned businesses. Well, not all of them, but they were, one of them was, which was Cisco's. They weren't family-owned. That was a big corporation, but they helped us. And so it was through these connections, these solid connections that my father had formed. And then coming in after them, my brothers and I, we formed great relationships with our clients. So they didn't bail. They knew that we were good for our work. When we said, we're going to deliver your produce, it may not be there at 11 o'clock in the morning, but we're going to get it to you. And they would take it at 11 o'clock at night. It was crazy. This was pre-time. This was before cell phones were everywhere, but that's another story. Again, I can share with you how we overcame it. We thrived. In fact, our business grew incredibly well during this restoration period. And then a couple of years after that restoration, we were actually able to sell the company and move on to other ventures. So that is how our company survived. It was through the generosity and the help of our competitors. So I'm saying you need to not ignore your competitors, but lend a helping hand, be there for them. And so that when there is a disaster, God forbid, perhaps they'll be there for you too, because the success is truly through your connections.
This is Success Through Connections, where small talk leads to big wins. Today's episode was brought to you by Up Until Now, the company helping you master the art of networking.